Hello, Dr. G here from naturalfoodsdiet.org. In this video, I'm going to tell you one of the most important measures that you can take right now that I believe will prevent and reverse many diseases, especially these diseases that our culture is now facing and are increasing in epidemic proportions. Now, have you ever heard of a canary in a coal mine? Well, that was when miners would take an extremely sensitive animal, like a canary, down into the mine with them. Now, as they're working, whacking at the wall of the tunnel to get the coal, they'd periodically look over at the canary and make sure she was alive and chirping. Because if the canary had fallen off her perch, that meant you better run like hell to get out of that tunnel. And that's because methane gas or carbon monoxide gas were rising, and you would soon be dead just like the darn canary. Well, this was a great way to save your life. The canary sacrificed her life as an early warning indicator. Now, I believe today we have a similar situation where the canaries, instead of being sensitive birds, they're sensitive people. Now, these people come into my office all the time, and generally their health is going to hell in a handbasket. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, these people come into me and they have symptoms of fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome, migraine headaches, chronic pain, they can't sleep, they have sleep apnea, they're depressed, they're anxious, they have osteoporosis, they're gaining weight, they complain of brain fog, and on top of all that, they develop horrible diseases like autoimmune diseases, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, chronic infections, Alzheimer's disease. I mean, you get the picture. It's pretty bleak. Well, one of the first things I ask these patients if they feel significantly better when they get out in the middle of nowhere. Like if they went out into the wilderness, would they feel better? And if they do, that gives me a big clue. And it tells me that we need to evaluate their exposure to electromagnetic fields, or EMFs for short. So when we do this, we measure three kinds of possible exposures. And one is magnetic fields, which we measure in milligauss, electric fields, which are measured in volts on the skin, and then the radio frequency microwave fields, which are measured in microwatts per centimeter squared. So you might be asking, what are the sources of these fields? Well, the most common ones are computers and tablets like the iPad. The wireless devices are usually the worst, and Wi-Fi and the smart meters are also potentially bad. Cordless phones are a problem. Cell phone towers create these EMFs. Other sources are power lines and in-home electrical wiring, as well as your electronic devices like microwave ovens, televisions, refrigerators, your lighting, and other electrical equipment. They all cause these EMF exposures. Now, when we do correct the exposures on these sensitive people, the symptoms of the patient often go away or at least improve. And then you, or actually me, as a practicing physician, I have no doubt that this is real, even though society tends to deny it. So what exactly do the EMF exposures do to harm us? Well, our body and our cells are in tune with the Earth magnetic field, the so-called Schumann's resonance. Now, these waves are faster during the day and slower at night. The theory is that our cells operate by a circadian clock, even on the molecular level. And this all depends on Mother Earth's magnetic field telling our cells what to do. Now, the competing EMFs mess up our sensing of the Earth's magnetic fields and thus cause cellular dysfunction. Now, this would logically result in the multitude of health effects that we are seeing today. Now, there are many studies showing the health effects from EMFs, both in animal and human studies. Now it's interesting to see our health problems skyrocket as our exposure to these unnatural EMFs has also skyrocketed in recent years. Now I know this is circumstantial evidence, but it's still very powerful. Now I know it is a hard pill to swallow for most of us. Industry and the government introducing more and more of these devices and more EMFs. Most of us now are completely addicted and won't give up our gadgets until they drop our body in a casket. Give me a 3G, no 4G. Ah, hell, I want a 5G. Yes, it's an inconvenient truth, but a truth nevertheless. Now, another question you might be asking is, do I want to wait until the government sets reasonable health standards and does the safety testing? Well, let me tell you, there's trillions of dollars at stake, both the government and industry. So you can be certain there are going to be no good studies that figure out the harms from these electromagnetic fields. Now, if you search for it, you can find plenty of evidence that these fields are harmful to life. And I, personally, being a doctor that treats this, have no doubt at all. Yes, it is from my anecdotal experience of working with patients for over 30 years, and also from reviewing the research that is available. Now, I know the government, industry, and mainstream medicine labels anyone that's worried about these EMF exposures as quacks. Well, so be it. You can call me a quack if you like. But these EMFs significantly affect health, and I believe it's just a matter of time, because of their constant increase, that there will eventually be a health catastrophe. In fact, there's already a health catastrophe. And when the big one happens, that no one can deny, you might take action then, but then it might be too late because you'll be dead, or at least greatly debilitated. Now, my advice is you take advantage of my super sensitive, canary-like patients. They're telling us, run for your life. This is Dr. G. If you want more information on how you can investigate and reduce EMF exposure, as well as finding other solutions to EMF and to other common causes of disease in our modern age that's ignored by medicine, please check out our website, naturalfoodsdiet.org, and please subscribe to the Natural Foods Diet channel here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.